So, before now, I'd never played Watch Dogs, nor did I have the desire to ever get it. That was until Ubisoft decided to hand it out quicker than a pedophile gives out candy to minors in their white van. When starting my new game, I cranked the difficulty straight up to realistic because I'm not a pussy or a virgin. Then I turned it straight back down because I am indeed both of those things. In this game, you play as Marcus, a hacker. And yeah, that's about how deep his character goes. About how deep my penis would go into a vagina. I mean, not that I would know, but I don't think my 2-inch terror would go very far. So as I got into the first mission, the game tells me how to sprint and jump like I've never played a game in my life. And after failing this jump 3 times, I start questioning whether my whole gaming career has been a lie and climb up the small ledge instead. I then get introduced to the stealth mechanic and take this guy out with what looks like a skipping rope with a rock on it. Or, maybe it's just a repurposed gag strap, I don't know. Maybe Marcus gets up to some kinky shit in his spare time. I then use my hacker vision to hack into this door, do a sick backflip, and completely fail the next stealth section. So I proceed to run away faster than my dad did when he found out my mum was pregnant. So after deleting all my personal data from existence, I run away like a little bitch again, because that's all I know how to do since I never had a dad to teach me how to defend myself. I then flip off some guards, leap backwards into a hole. There could have been cold hard concrete waiting for me at the bottom, only that's what I wish there was and I was totally fine. On the outside. For whatever reason, the hacking group DedSec that were recruiting Marcus thought it necessary to place a bag over my head, rather than just leading me nicely to their van, and I have to say, I don't like where this is going. So, I wake up to what could be the aftermath of my sexual assault or my inevitable death. I'm sorry to say that it was neither, and I am still a virgin and I'm still alive, so it's a lose-lose. Instead, the group schemed together their plan to show the world how their personal data is being used and exploited through every device they own by a company called Bloom. Much less interesting than leaping onto cold hard concrete if you ask me. After getting absolutely smashed, the next morning we wake up in a house with no recollection of what happened the night before. However, there is a girl on the bed, meaning that I might have finally gotten laid. Except this is just a video game, and that's not actually me. But hey, dream big and you'll reach it, and if you don't, you've always got your right hand at an incognito window. So I run to the car to get some fresh pants, but after realizing I could have just fast traveled to a clothes store, I did that instead. And after picking up a ghastly pair of trousers, I steal a bike in broad daylight to drive to the DedSec hacking space. And then when I realized it was 4,000 meters away, I just fast traveled to the nearest location. This is how you do open world games now, apparently. So as it turns out, for whatever reason, the hackerspace is located in the basement of what looks like a bookstore, blocked by an easily breakable glass door and or a thin wall, which really makes you wonder how nobody has found them yet, especially when the door is layered with DedSec graffiti. It's almost as obvious as Jimmy Savile writing, "Under 12s, please come here to get unconsensually bummed," outside his door. The aim of the game is to gain as many followers as possible to download the DedSec app to create an army of computers to take down Bloom. Honestly, I have no idea how that makes any sense, but I'm a little bit retarded, so that's okay. After speaking to Wrench, he tells us to use this magic 3D printer which somehow has the ability to create and build pretty much whatever you want. Extremely convenient and, if released into the public, a threat to global security. So naturally with all that power we make a remote control car and a pistol. The car disappears faster than me in a social gathering of more than 5 people, and conveniently enough, both it and the pistol cost absolutely nothing to make. Now, the game tells me about online activities, which I immediately turn off, because who in their right mind will want someone to hack into their game and mess things up? I mean, maybe someone who hated themselves, so I don't really know why I turned it off. We now head out into the park to find special operations to help gain followers. Using our magic hacker vision, which definitely isn't just a bad drug trip that turns off my inability to interact with other humans. After discovering that a billionaire who hates leukemia wants to pay an artist for exclusive access to his new album, we head off to trick him. After sampling this artist's album and voice, I stop to stare at this woman, because it's the closest I've been to the opposite sex in all my life. I only got a semi, so I think I did pretty well. So, we arrive at his mansion and I upload a virus to all of his devices and impersonate the music artist, getting him to donate $20 million to leukemia research. Jokes aside, this was actually pretty funny. Nobody should be able to get away with things just because they're rich, though you only have to look at the news to see that people who are rich could pretty much get away with anything. After this, I get sidetracked by a quest to test out a new ATM hack, and literally give this guy $1,100 for absolutely nothing. I wish I could do this in real life, because then I could pay off my crippling student debt, and maybe pay someone to rid me of my mental instability. Next, Wrench tells us that there is a new trailer out for a new Jimmy Siska movie, assumingly a famous actor. The bad looks of this trailer, it's more cringy than any 12-year-old doing a Fortnite dance in public, and even more vomit-inducing than what I see when I look in the mirror every morning. Of course, I'm joking, I've been called handsome by a female before. That one female just happens to be my mum, so she's definitely just trying to make me feel better. The group then come up with a plan to make their own spin-off of the trailer by stealing the actual Cyberdriver car and the script to gain even more followers. After sneaking onto the set, I realised that most of my time in this game is going to be spent using my magic hacker vision to see people through walls, and failing every stealth section because the stealth in this game is as much of a joke as in the early Assassin's Creed games. Or maybe I'm just terrible at video games, it's more likely the latter. All jokes aside, this is actually a pretty interesting game that I think I'll get a nice amount of playtime from. This is a completely different style of video to what I normally do, being badly edited montages. I really like this format and this video is pretty fun to make, so I might do more of this in the future. If you did enjoy it, do share it with your 3 friends and give it a thumbs up because it boosts my self-esteem. Stay safe and I'll see you later.